Are you tired of putting in hours at the gym and not seeing results on the scale? Hold on tight, because you are in for some surprising truths and a whole lot of energy. Get ready to learn the truth about exercise and weight loss. It's time to separate the facts from the fiction. You can't out-exercise a bad diet. You've probably heard this so many times before, yet still so many of us try to drive our weight down by exercising more. Exercise is an awesome wellness tool that is important to maintaining a healthy weight, but it is not an effective weight loss tool for most people. When you try to drop weight through exercise alone, you may experience the opposite effect. You know what's crazy? You would have to cycle 1,000 miles or run 350 miles just to burn 10 pounds of fat. The key is to move because you love it. And once you improve your health and drop the excess weight that's holding you back, your desire to move will naturally increase as you experience less pain and fatigue. My husband is an orthopedic foot and ankle surgeon, and he likes to tell me that for every pound of excess fat we carry on our frames, it equates to 8 pounds of force pushing through the ankle and 6 pounds through the knee. Every pound of excess fat you carry in your belly specifically equates to 4 to 5 pounds of force pulling off your spine. This here is just 5 pounds of belly fat. If you're carrying just 50 pounds of this excess fat weight, that equates to 400 pounds of force through your ankles with every single step. My husband sees one patient after another lamenting about foot pain due to trying to exercise the weight off. His advice for these patients time and time again is to drop the weight first, reduce the amount of force pushing through those fragile joints, then think about exercise. As much as we would like to believe it, our bodies aren't as simple as a mathematical equation. Now, I'm not saying that we defy Newton's laws of thermodynamics, but many issues factor into why the scale tracks up or down. If you want to lose weight and keep it off, you've got to focus on your diet first. There's just no way around it. I speak to so many gym owners and personal trainers who ask me to help them help their members drop weight because increased movement just isn't the answer for this specifically. These fitness professionals know their members need support and guidance with their nutrition if their members want to see significant and sustainable weight loss. I often get asked what the perfect calorie balance is between exercise and diet, and the answer is simple: there isn't one. The body is much more complicated than calories in and calories out. What I will tell you is that most of these fitness trackers that measure calories overestimate what you've burned by 28 to 93%. And the machines themselves, like the treadmill, for example, are even more inaccurate. It's for this reason that I don't recommend you track calories burned during the day. Most of the numbers are very inaccurate, like I just said, and often drive you to eat more than you really need. For example, let's say you track through a fitness tracker how many calories you burned in a cycling class, and it estimates the 250 calories you actually burned by 50% higher, giving you a total of 375. The tracker will show you that you have more calories in your pocket than you really have. For a lot of us, this drives the notion that we can eat more later in the day, even if we might not be hungry. We find ourselves reaching for a snack just because we can, or because we had a really hard workout when we really don't need anything at all. I'm a huge proponent of you listening to your body and not focusing on your metabolism like it is a simple equation, when in reality, we're not driven by calorie sensors. The real ticket to success is to stop obsessing about calories and to start focusing on eating the foods that allow your body to work the way it's supposed to. This is what ultimately resets the scale. If you're interested in learning more about how to reset the scale, check out my book, 5 Steps to Reset the Scale, in the link below and get a free copy. The benefits of increased activity aren't as clear-cut as what we have come to believe. Like I mentioned earlier, exercise should be viewed as a wellness tool rather than a weight loss tool for many reasons. First, exercise is primarily an appetite stimulator. After a nice workout, we may feel hungry as we did some physical movement, and we might need the right food to recover, but as I mentioned before, this doesn't mean that we can overeat and take that unhealthy snack. Second, not all people are exercise responders. Here, genetics come into play. Some individuals exercise and weight loss, or at least weight loss maintenance, is a favorable and exciting outcome, while others experience no such thing and quite the opposite with increase in body fat and ravenous hunger. I was training for this big cycling race. It was 50 miles up crazy altitude, and as a result, I was so hungry. I found that I increased my weight by about 10 pounds, and that 10 pounds was not muscle mass, it was fat mass. Another interesting about the genetics and exercise is that training can increase your aerobic power by at most 10 to 20%, whereas your genetics can influence your fitness abilities by 50%. Third, when heavy people exercise regularly, their resting metabolism actually slows. 4 tightly controlled human studies examined what happened when individuals participated in heavier exercise. Instead of losing the expected 10 pounds, they lost 7 pounds on average, and some people dropped as little as 2 to 3. This unexpectedly low weight loss outcome was attributed to the associated decrease in metabolism. So if you happen to be overweight or obese, you most likely lack the energy and desire to exercise. For most of us, the recommendations are totally overwhelming, as we are told that we need to exercise 60 to 90 minutes every day to drop weight and keep it off. Also, the increased exercise is not providing us with the health benefits we expect. Instead, we experience injuries such as overused foot, ankle, knee, and back pain. If exercise hasn't been the secret for you to drop weight successfully, or if you just don't have the capacity to exercise right now due to the excess weight that you're holding on, but you know you're ready to drop weight, reach out to us at PhD. Give us a call and we'll get you scheduled with one of our nutritionists, and we'll come up with a customized plan so you can drop the weight no matter if you exercise or not. Now, with all of that being said, I do want to say that just because exercise isn't a great tool for weight loss specifically, it doesn't mean that you can lead a sedentary lifestyle, sit all day, and expect good health. Exercise is important for health, stress, mood, sleep, and maintaining your muscle mass. And you know, your muscle mass is very important. It is a marker for longevity, meaning the more muscle you have is correlated with a longer life. Your muscle is your metabolic currency. Most people, as they age, experience a drop in muscle mass, mostly because they move less. So make sure that you get up and move. Especially as you drop the excess weight, it's really important that you establish movement as a part of your daily habit. There are 3 types of exercise that are most important to help you maintain your muscle and your health, and it is not chronic cardio. So get off the elliptical machine and consider letting go of your long runs and replace it with this. 1. Lift something heavy. I want you to do some kind of resistance training. The reason why is because it helps you maintain your muscles, it increases testosterone, which is important for both men and women. It reduces your risk of falling, it helps you maintain your weight loss, and it helps to give you that lean appearance after you drop the fat. 2. HIIT, which stands for high intensity interval training, and it's basically short bursts of movement. The most effective way to support good heart health and helping to normalize your blood sugar levels is participating in this HIIT, and I want to explain what this means. I'm going to use a stationary bike as an example. You could get on the stationary bike, warm up for 5 minutes, and then I want you to sprint really hard as it is for you to be really out of breath for about 30 to 45 seconds, and then you're going to rest for about a minute to a minute and a half. So it's a work to rest ratio of a 1-to-2 ratio. So what I mean by that is if you work for 30 seconds, then you're going to rest and pedal easy for a minute. If you work really hard for 45 seconds, then you're going to rest and pedal easy for a minute and a half. Do those on and off cycles for about 10 to 12 times and then cool down. The whole thing should only take about 25 minutes, so it's very short yet really effective. And the last type of exercise that's really important is walking. Walking is the number 1 most important movement you can do for your brain and overall health. So here's a good plan for exercise once your body is at a healthy weight. I know what you're thinking right now. So, Dr. Ashley, exercising won't make me lose weight, but what should I do instead? Don't worry, I won't leave you with a million questions and no answers. It's time to reveal the right way to lose weight. Here, I'm going to go over the most important aspects of your body that you need to understand before you can even start to lose the weight. But once you do, everything will be so much easier. See you there.